Hi, welcome back to the workshop journey. Mike's over in the workshop right now. I'm not really sure what he's working on, so how about we go over and find out. Well, you have a little bit of different setup today. What are we doing?
Well, hey Dominic, how's it going? Today I'm building a flip top stand
For what?
to replace this old dresser here.
Okay.
It's got my combination sander on one end and the scroll saw on the other end. I'm going to put these on a flip top, which will make my footprint of that cabinet a little bit smaller. When you're working in a small workshop, you have to keep these things in mind. It's great to have all the tools, but you still got to have room to maneuver and to do things.
Okay.
So that's what I'm doing today, and I've laid out for the first couple of cuts. I'm using 3/4 inch plywood. I'm going to cut it lengthwise first. A full sheet is a little awkward on my table saw because it has a very small table surface. So I'm doing it by hand this time. And then my first two horizontal cut for traverse cuts against it. And then after I cut it, I'll start marking off my other pieces.
Okay.
I drew it up in AutoCAD.
Cool. It's pretty detailed.
It is. First I did a couple of sketches of what I wanted with some rough measurements, the tools, because with it being a flip top, it's not just a tabletop spinning.
No.
Now you have the height of the tool on top of it. You have to take that into consideration.
You also have other aspects as well. Rotation speed, weight, gravity.
Yeah. So I started off with a rough sketch and some measurements. And then I went into AutoCAD. Some people like to use SketchUp. I don't have a lot of experience yet doing 3D modeling with that type of program, so I go with what I'm familiar with, my AutoCAD. And then I did a cut sheet.
Both will be in the description below if you guys want to look at them more blown up. And that way you can see more detail of what he designed.
It will be on casters.
Okay. Two of which I see are locking.
Two are locking.
Which means those
They're
are drive
both
wheels.
the same size, except these two, because they don't have a locking mechanism on them, are actually shorter. Even though the wheels are the same height. The supply store I went to didn't have any non-locking to match these or any locking to match these. So what I'm going to end up doing is putting a piece of plywood or OSB board as a spacer on the non-locking ones to the bottom of the cabinet to get them the same height.
Cool.
Alright, well, I got some earmuffs and goggles over there for you. I'm going to go ahead and get ready to make this first cut.
Sounds good. I'll gear up.
board flexed.
By how much?
Oh! 1/8 of an inch. I don't really want to put screws in my piece 2 to 6, but I forgot to put on. I need 2 more.
These?
Yes. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Yeah, when I was attaching my 1 to 2, I was thinking, okay, it's long enough and skinny enough it might flex while I'm doing it, and then forgot to address the issue. So that should keep it from flexing now. Why is it floating down? I've not had one float this much before. Well,
Wow,
that didn't turn out real good, did
that
it?
did not turn out very good.
There were a couple of reasons why. Operator error. As you can see, it definitely is not square, straight. If it was vertical, it wouldn't even be plumb. And part of that was trying to reach across half a sheet of plywood, one-handed. The way a circular saw is set up, it's intended for two-hand operation so that you can see where the guide on the saw is compared to your line. But when I was trying to cut from over here,
Didn't work.
I couldn't see the line, so that meant I was trying to force the saw to shift directions.
You also didn't have a very stable straight edge.
Correct. The 1x2 definitely did not have enough
Lesson
stability.
learned, not doing that again.
Yeah. And I had this straight edge, which is put out by Bora, but I only had the 4-foot piece, so it wouldn't work on an 8-foot rip. Well, I think I'm going to pick up the other 4-foot extension so that I don't have that problem next time around. But
This system definitely works. We've used it before on the layout table, and when it's clamped, it's clamped. It ain't moving.
Well, I went ahead, and because the way the edge turned out, I went ahead and bought one of the attachments for this.
Okay, what'd you get?
I got the Bora saw plate.
So that basically keeps your saw in line with the straight edge, so you can just follow it.
Correct.
Oh, now that's cool.
Some of the straight line or straight edge systems set into grooves, and it becomes a track system. Well, the aluminum track sets inside the groove of the attachment. So I'm free floating on it, but it keeps me square because you adjust your width against your aluminum track here. When you set this up, you want to make sure that you have clearance for your saw blade shoe, the safety shoe, because as you know, when you're going through the wood, this feeds back and such. So if you get it too tight here, then you're going to be like this all the time, which is a safety hazard. I would take a few minutes now to show you how I set this up earlier today, except it took me about an hour and a half because you got these two little pieces here holding on the front shoe and this bracket holding on the back of the saw plate.
Yeah, this system is great. We've done a few test cuts. We're going to do another one on camera. But the challenge with it, and we both noticed it, as you said, it took an hour and a half or so to put it together. It's a great system, but it is not meant to come apart. It is meant to stay on the saw, and that's it. So if you're going to use this and take it on and off, you're going to be wasting a lot of time.
Now, I'm going to modify that statement because I'm new to this attachment. So if any of the channel viewers have used the Bora saw plate and have figured out how to get it set up, hooked up, and in and out with
Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, let us know in the comments below.
This is a learning curve.
Okay, we'll slide it this way. So this has a cam lock on the end of it. So why don't you go ahead and slide the, tell you what, let's show them. This has a sliding clamp block on the end, so you can adjust it for your wood. It'll do a full sheet of plywood sideways. By buying the extension on it, I should be able to do the full sheet lengthwise. And then this is a cam lock. So we'll go ahead and line it up. You got your block on, and use the cam lock to tighten it.
You're just barely past line. I'm just over the line, so
Okay.
try that.
All right, so I want my cut line just outside of my sacrifice board.
That is one straight line.
Yep. Much, much better. Now we can build a cabinet.
Process.
Okay, we cut all the wood except for the drawers themselves because I want to verify the measurements when I have it put together to make sure that I get the right size cut for the drawer. So we're going to wait on that. And other than a couple of pieces of wood that are sitting off to the side, this is where we are. As Dom said, we've got this pile we're going to put together. I'm going to recess this front brace into the edges of the two side panels. I'm going to use this piece of 1/2 inch black iron for the flip rod in the middle. It's a little bit thicker than my plywood. So what I will do is take my router and just barely router one of the top pieces. So I get a good groove. And then I got the 2 locking casters and the 2 non-locking. When it comes time to mount them, we'll have to measure or cut a couple of small pieces of 7/16.
That's okay, your mic is going to still pick it up, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. Cut 2 pieces of 7/16 board just as a spacer block.
Okay.
And I had explained why I had 2 different color casters.
Yep.
And it's because this box store didn't have 4 of the same color at the time, so I got 2 locking, 2 not locking. Got me some UHMW tape for the bottom of the drawer slide. So I think we're ready to start putting pieces together. I'm going to clear off the pieces we're not working with immediately, and we'll move on.
For those of you who are wondering, the tape, it's frictionless and basically allows things to slide very freely on it. So instead of having to install drawer slides into it, we're going this method and seeing if it'll work better. In the midst of having an air compressor continuing to kick off because we're going to be using nail gun.
Sound stripe. Sound stripe. Sound stripe. Sound stripe. Sound stripe. Sound stripe. Sound stripe.
Well, let's go ahead and set it down there. All right. There. Floor's not level. Imagine that. Okay, so let's put this piece of pipe in. And the top. All right. I can roll it back out here so you can get a better shot of it. All right, there's my flip top cabinet. And I'll put a washer spacer in there so it doesn't drag anywhere. It's dragging because of the warp of the plywood. And now I'm going to have to get me a piece of cardboard and take my tools off of there and put them on the cardboard as a template. And that way I make it so that the holes that I drill through here for the one side don't interfere with the ones for the other side.
Oh, hi!
Thank you for watching the video.
We hope that you were entertained or educated by this video.
But that's not all for you to see.
So feel free to subscribe,
Like,
share. We'll see you guys here next time
on the workshop journey.